What a week in the NHL. There were some absolutely amazing storylines going on. Big wins, big losses, but how is it going to affect the overall rankings? This has been the most volatile set of rankings I have ever seen on this channel. Every week there's something different, and that is because it's early in the season. We are seeing some teams really flex some muscle, and we're seeing some teams fall to the basement or start with a slow start. That being said, let's get into this week's power rankings on Hot Garbage Sports. Tied for number 5. That's right, you heard it. Tied for number 5. We couldn't even pick one for 5. Don't worry, we have them picked 4 through 1. That is because it is so darn close. Right now, I actually would have the Lightning, who have gone 4-1 in their last 5. They're back, baby. I still love the Carolina Hurricanes here in this spot. 3-1-1. I mean, it's them. I'm hearing they don't look so good on their transition play. Sometimes transition play and speed down the middle of the ice means you're giving it up going the other way too as well. So give me good zone control and good shots on net with solid defense in my own zone any day. I love playing fast, but I still like what I see from the Hurricanes. The Calgary Flames have slipped. Ruh-roh, Scooby. They lost to the Edmonton Oilers 3-2. They're out of my top 5. The New York Islanders are surging, baby. So they've got to be mentioned. I mean, a win streak of 3-2-0. Are the Islanders back? Let's see this week. The Winnipeg Jets, my Winnipeg Jets, Connor Hellebuck stealing it for them. They don't look great in some instances, especially getting outshot by LA last week. They handled the Winnipeg Jets 1.0, the Arizona Coyotes. They fell to the Vegas Golden Knights, getting outshot dramatically as well too, but Hellebuck kept them in that game. However, they are still 3-1-1. And finally, the Buffalo Sabres. Would love to have the Sabres here on this list as well too, but frankly, regardless of their record and as good as the Sabres are playing, it's been a very weak schedule there for Buffalo, so they haven't made it yet, but I don't think they're pretenders. I hope to see them climb. That is who I have tier rank tied at number 5. I'd pick the Lightning, but feel free to take anyone from this list in your top 5 for power rankings. By the way, there will be no snubs in this video because they were all frankly included in the tie. Now, before we get to number 4, why don't you check out today's sponsor, PrizePicks.com. If you're in Canada or the US, unfortunately excluding Ontario, head over to PrizePicks.com. It is the best site in daily fantasy. Use code HGS, and when you sign up, get a 100% deposit bonus. That means if you go ahead and deposit $10, you're going to get $10. If you deposit $100, you're going to get a free $100 there on Coach Ryan D. It is the best in daily fantasy. When you head on over to the site, you can see Coach Ryan D's own site right here. We click the NHL tab, and it's very simple. If you're really passionate about playing, we go ahead, we find a player like Drew Doughty. Is he going to get 0.5 points tonight? I think he's going to get more. Connor McDavid, 1.5 points. That's a heavy line, but McDavid's been on an absolute tear. We'll talk about him later today. And then we move over to shots on goal. Kirill the Thrill, 4 shots on goal. That's a lot. I'm not sure if I'm loving it, but I am loving Kirby Dach to come in at more than 1.5 shots on goal there for the Habs. So I'm going to go Kirill less, Dach more. I think Connor McDavid's going to score more than 1.5, and Drew Doughty is going to score more than 5. We go ahead, we place a $5 bet on that. Cha-ching, we're done. Very simple. It will be a $250 payout if these guys go ahead and win. And thank you for using my promo dollars there from PrizePicks. So head over there, code HGS. Moving into number 4, a new entry on this list. The New Jersey Devils cracked it. They've done it. They're up there, streaking win of 3, 6-3-0 right now to start the season. In their last 5, they knocked off the Sharks. They lost to the Caps. They beat the Detroit Red Wings. They beat the Colorado Avalanche, but a lot of people are these days, and they beat the Columbus Blue Jackets. Jesper Bratt has been absolutely on fire with 15 points right now, and it has been an absolute top tier penalty kill for the Devils. Palat is going to be out for groin surgery. That's really tough. That unfortunate new free agent signing not paying off there for the Devils due to the injury bug. Shots around the net. This is just an unbelievable team at generating shots. We're going to talk about that shortly, and they have an absolute killer team defense right now. Goaltending so-so, but if they find some magic in net, they could be deadly. Corsi, 63.33. They rank number 2. Shots towards the net versus shots against your net. If you are higher than 50%, you are doing well in this category. And no matter what anybody says, volume matters. Putting shots on net is an important stat. They come in at number 2 at generating shots. That's why they're on this list. That's why they're streaking at 3. But scoring chances matter, and so do high danger chances, right, Coach Ryan D? Yes, exactly. Thank you, voice of public opinion. Sometimes you get it right. Scoring chances 4. They also rank number 1. And high danger chances 4. This is a stat the NHL and coaches like me are really focusing on. Don't just get a shot, get the perfect shot, get the best shot. High danger chances 4. They also rank number 1. So they rank number 2 in volume. They rank number 1. Unbelievable. Number 1 in scoring chances 4 and a dominant number 1 in high danger chances 4. Expected goals 4. How many goals should this team be scoring? Well, 69.38 puts them at rank number 1 in the NHL. This team should be generating more goals for and less goals against by a percentage spread than anyone else in the NHL. And that makes sense. They're red hot. Actual goals for 57, ranked number 8. That is scary. And you know what that tells me? They have room to improve. They should actually be higher in actual goals for, ladies and gentlemen. This team could absolutely be a sweetheart story this year. Power play 19.2, not the best, ranked number 21. Penalty kill 93.1, good enough for rank number 4. Special teams matter in today's NHL. Their strength of opponent, as you see it, I give it a B. I got the Devils at 4. Let me know down below if you're excited to have them on this list. Number 3 is the Edmonton Oilers. They come in. They are streaking as well. 4-game win streak, 6 wins, 3 losses. They lost to the Blues. They beat the Blues. They beat the Penguins. They beat the Hawks, and they beat the Flames. They went on a little road trip, and they won. And when you win on road trips, that matters. Why? Their power play is just red hot. And did we expect anything less? Number 2 in the league. Incredible. Stuart Skinner is red hot. This is not looking like it may be Jack Campbell's team. Maybe this is Stuart Skinner's team. 5x5. I told you, Oiler fans, yikes, he'll get it together. He's been good enough to get a couple wins here, but Stuart Skinner looks like he may be the real deal. Maybe not. Small sample size, we'll see, but a 9.55 save percentage nonetheless. Connor McDavid, 18 points. What else did we expect from McJesus? 9 goals, 9 assists. Draisaitl, the best passer in the NHL. Beautiful article about him over there on The Athletic. 16 points, 4 goals, 12 assists from that beauty right there. And 5 of 6 defensemen on the Oilers have a positive plus minus. That's huge when your D back there helps you carry the load, especially when goaltending from a guy like Jack Campbell struggles. Taking a look at their 5 versus 5 play, their Corsi isn't the greatest. It's 13th in the NHL. That's fine, but you want to be top 10 to make this list. 51.81. However, their scoring chances for is number 6, and scoring chances really is what matters over volume of shots, so that's good. High danger chances for, they're only ranking number 10, but still good enough to crack the top 10. Remember, a lot of these stats are unfortunately brought down by their slow start, but their hot start is bringing them back up. Expected goals for, 49.47. That is not ideal. Ranked number 19th in the NHL, and goals for, 53.13. Ranked number 15. I expect both of these categories to jack right up, but I cannot ignore the Oilers on this list anymore. Power play, as we said, ranks 2 at a deadly 33.3. Their penalty kill, well, I mean, it's the Oilers, so rank 22, 76.7, but Woodcroft will get this right. Strength of opponent is an A. I mean, look, it's the Blues, it's the Penguins, and it's the Flames. Anytime you beat your rival in the Flames, who were on this list last week, anytime you can beat the Blues, yes, they're sliding, but it's still the Blues or the Penguins. Things are looking good. And then the Chicago Blackhawks, you got to win those games. So that's a hallmark of good team. We got the Oilers in at number 3. Hey, go ahead down below if you've been here for now. Thumbs up, like the video, comment, tell me how you like these ranking lists as they're coming through, and a big shout out to all of our members on the coaches staff down below. You can hit that join button down below, help support the channel and Coach Ryan D. Moving on to number 2, it's the Vegas Golden Knights. 8-2-0. They are number 1 on other people's list. They are number 2 on my list. They are streaking win streak of 4. They lost to the Avs But they went ahead and they beat the Leafs. Lots of people are these days. They beat the Sharks, they beat the Ducks, and they beat the Jets. That's not the greatest strength of competition. I mean, it really started strong with the Leafs and the Avs, and then, the Jets, the Ducks, the Sharks, so. But I mean, the Jets was a tricky game. Hellebuck stood on his head. So looking good here for the Knights. Why? Bruce Cassidy's bench management has been awesome. He's doling out the ice a lot more evenly than it was last year, and that's good. Load management matters, especially for your top guys. This is a veteran-heavy team, and Bruce is no rookie in terms of his thinking. He knows this team isn't super deep if one of the star players gets hurt. They don't got a lot of depth in the AHL in their prospect system, so you got to keep your stars healthy, and load management can help with that, balancing the ice time. Jack Eichel's been the best player on this team by far. Good acquisition, 10 points in 10 games, 4 goals, 6 assists, balanced scoring all throughout the sheet. After that, they really just are winning by teamwork. They are plus 15 in goal differentials. I mean, that's going to carry you to the top of any list. And they have absolutely elite goaltending numbers. It was my biggest fear coming in here. It's why I had them way down on my list, admittedly so. But when you're looking at Thompson at a 9.43 and Hill at a 9.40, anything over 9.20 is absolutely elite in the NHL. That's what you want to look for. Thompson and Hill both over 9.40. Incredible. That's going to carry you a long way. Hopefully one or both can keep this up if you're a Knights fan. 5 versus 5. Corsi, they're ranked 16. Nothing to take home. Nothing to write home about. Nothing to really talk about there. Scoring chances for and high danger chances for, though, are. So what they lack in volume of shots, they are making up for in actual scoring chances. These are guys who are the definition of don't just take a shot, take the best shot. So when you're ranked 4 and 2 in that category, that's huge. When it comes to actually scoring, not just scoring chances, they're ranked 4 and 1. Right now, goals for, they are number 1 in the NHL. That'll put you to the top of anybody's standings. And expected goals for, they are ranked number 4. They are actually slightly overperforming right now, but anything in these rankings, these categories that you see 5 on 5 is just golden. You got to love it. Power play, penalty kill, not great. Cassidy, this is a coaching area. You got to pick up on this. So if they have anywhere to improve, it's going to be on their power play and their kill. They rank 22 and 21 respectively, 18.8 on the power play. Not very good. Penalty kill, 78.3. Pretty terrible. Not what you want, but their strength of opponent gets a B+. That's why these guys are hovering in at number 2. Number 1 is the Boston Bruins, 8-1-0 with all the injuries. I did not think this was a team that would get off to this start. Win streak of 5. You can see all those W's down there. Their only loss to the Ottawa Senators. Marchie returns, 3-point night. You got to love that. He came back way earlier than anybody ever anticipated. We were looking at December, but he's here. He's ready to go. The center depth is massive for this team right now. Krejci, Bergeron, Coyle, unbelievable embarrassment of riches, and it's working down there. Pasta continues to be absolutely on fire. 16 points, 7 goals, 9 assists. Guy's a monster. He's looking like an $11 million a year player right now. Montgomery's new system, the players are playing loose. You can see it when you're watching the Bruins. They're flowing. They're not tight. They're not tense like they were under Cassidy. They're not as rigid. They're a veteran team. They're playing for fun, and that's exactly what you want to do if you're the Bruins. And this is without Grzelcyk and McAvoy. So there are people saying maybe they peaked early. No way, Jose. This is a good team. This is a team getting early points due to injury. Will they level out? Probably. I don't think they're going to stay number 1 all year, but when Grzelcyk and McAvoy join, if they get some health in the playoffs, this could be a deadly team all year to watch. 5 versus 5, it's all green, baby. They rank 7 in Corsi. Volume of shots versus volume shots against. Scoring chances for, they rank 5. High danger chances for, they rank 4. Beautiful balance. Volume, scoring chances, and dangerous chances balanced exactly the way you want it to be if you're the number 1 team in the NHL. Expected goals for, ranked 5. Actual goals for, ranked 3. Goals against, ranked number 7. Their penalty kill, absolutely elite, ranked number 2 at 93.9. Their power play has room to grow, 23.5, ranked 15. 23.5 isn't bad for a power play, but you do want to bump it up there a little bit. Their strength of opponent is a B+. So that's your top 5 right now. If your team wasn't mentioned, we move over to the other category I love called Settle Down. The Torts effect right now, still in full effect for the Philadelphia Flyers. I'm not giving them any credit. John Tortorella, I actually think is a great coach. You may not. Hot take, comment down below. But I think if players would shut up and listen to Torts and actually follow the way of the plan, they'd win a lot more Stanley Cups. But hey, you can be right, or you can be happy, or you can be right, or you can have a Stanley Cup. All really depends. May not work for Torts this year, but he does get the best out of most players. The Chicago Blackhawks, why are they in the Torts effect? Thankfully, the Torts effect is just a category of saying overperforming, and the Hawks are overperforming right now. They were trying to tank for Bedard. They're not doing a great job at that right now. Veterans are carrying. Do better. Leafs, Kings, Rangers, Avalanche, Blues, and Senators. Not a good week, not a good start for these teams. No one is in danger yet, but these teams definitely have to do better. The Maple Leafs on this list back to back. Something's wrong down there. And when we talk about the Leafs, it's really simple. When you play purposeful hockey and lose in the first round repeatedly, it gets into players' heads. Then you come back to a regular season where you just had the all-time record in points, and you're playing 82 games, you're on the road. It feels like, oh my God, I can't wait to play meaningful hockey. Unfortunately, that's a bad mindset to have, but that's the mindset I'm speculating the Leafs have right now, which is why they have a slow start. Dubas isn't locked into a long-term deal. Keefe isn't locked into a long-term deal. Everybody's looking at each other awkwardly and weirdly. The Leafs, unfortunately, may have a tough year if they can't find their way out of the hole, but they got enough talent to get out of the hole. And what makes everybody come together? Wins. The New York Rangers. This is a team I'd love to talk about right now. The Rangers have all the talent in the world. They just haven't been able to put it together early in the season. Colorado Avalanche clearly have a Stanley Cup hangover and are trying to get used to the new roster they have right now. Maybe they were just too tired, but I still do believe they will pick it up eventually. They can't keep this going on forever. Let me know what you think down below, Avs fans or Avs haters. The St. Louis Blues, well, you lose one, you're going to lose a lot for some reason. St. Louis is in a bit of a slump right now. Same with the Ottawa Senators, and maybe even up for sale? Question mark. We'll have a video on that coming up. And finally, the Minnesota Wild, they're coming back around, baby. Looks like they're actually starting to pick it up. So Wild and Wild fans got to like what they're seeing. Keep an eye on them. They may creep back up into this list. In our last segment, back by popular demand, the #1 commented on segment in last video. You all know what it is. That is Pumped by the Jets. 5 teams have been pumped by the Jets this year. Most recently, it was the LA Kings and the Arizona Coyotes, Jets 1.0. The last 3 were last week. The Jets have 5 wins on the board. They are manufacturing points out of nowhere. That's exactly what you need to do if you're the Winnipeg Jets under a new coach, under a new regime, if you will, with no Blake Wheeler as the captain. These 5 teams, they're not on my top 5 list. Maybe that's because they got pumped by the Jets. Thanks for being here, guys. We really appreciate it. Again, head over to PrizePicks.com. All proceeds go to sponsor this channel. Stay tuned. Be with us here at Hot Garbage Sports and check out a couple more of these cool videos.